What is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday on Ambiguity. It is Saren here.
And Taylor.
And this week's topic, I think we're going to cover maybe two different perspectives. Definitely two different perspectives, but two different realms of this topic, which I will be talking about, how as a white binary trans person, other white people, other white trans people need to be more aware and conscious of the many other marginalized identities within the trans community, and that despite representation being predominantly, wow, am I speaking English? I'm so tired, and I have a fever. I really don't feel well at all. But anyways, trans representation in the media, in the public, publicity, everything is all white, wealthy people typically. Really, like in the documentaries when they show the little kids who are in the wrong bodies and know at the age of 2, it's typically with these families who are like middle class, able to get them on hormone blockers and all this stuff, whatever. Then you have Caitlyn Jenner, and then you do have Laverne Cox and Janet Mock and what was his name? I forget. Anyways, so that type of deal. But I think that there's this idea that we're just one community that all faces the entirely same problems. And I think you all should watch Levi's video since we're kind of like not with it right now, and I'm not feeling well. I think he and his partner covered everything perfectly. So I'm just gonna link his video down there because I really do not feel well. But I think that he brought up really, really good points in that we face entirely different struggles, and that, and his partner said, like transitioning from a white perspective is very different because you're transitioning into this point of privilege, and I think privilege is something that we definitely need to talk about, and that's something I want to cover in this video. But what do you want to say?
I don't know.
How do you identify? You can talk about this.
I mean, technically, well, yeah, technically non-binary. I think I don't really like to call myself anything, so I would identify as probably agender mostly, but a lot of people don't see that or kind of respect that because of how I present. Because I do present in a more feminine way, I would guess sometimes.
And you're a person of color.
Yeah, and I'm a person of color. Yeah, obviously.
Well, I'm just saying, I wanted you to say all your identities.
And I'm a person of color, and like whatever that means, that, I don't know, people automatically assume that I'm like black or Latina or something like that, but I don't really identify as any race for other reasons, which is a lot, but yeah. That's not me being like colorblind or whatever, but that's like there's a real reason behind it. Yeah, and I mean another thing that I would say that we need to like shed some light on is like how the non-binary representation is always like a super skinny androgynous white person, and
masculine presenting white person typically.
Yeah, masculine presenting, and it's like really hard to be like non-binary and have hips and like have the like black features that like I do have and other people of color have, like can't hide those hips, and like it's hard. Yeah, there isn't much help.
Yeah, and when you present the way you do, like your identity is always in question, and your pronouns and all of that. Meanwhile, pronouns are, I've said this so many times, so arbitrary, and it's just shouldn't
matter.
Reflect your gender identity. Yeah.
Yeah, but it does, and it sucks. But yeah, I feel that a lot. So.
What do you have to say to white people within the trans community and beyond it, who don't recognize their privilege and don't see that there's a whole nother side of it, there's a whole nother facet of
I don't know, it would just be like, just realize that there's bigger things happening around, and ask pronouns, even if someone was wearing, like if I'm wearing a dress, still ask me my pronouns, or start asking people your pronouns and stuff, because all the time people are always like, she does this, she does that, and I'm like, yeah, okay, just because I'm wearing a dress today, alright, whatever. But yeah, just open your eyes and I was gonna to say something really stupid, like open your heart, but that doesn't really fit in this video.
It does, though. I mean, it all starts with, like, recognizing that experiences aren't all the same. I don't know. I think the biggest thing is just representation and how people of color, like... I mean, I even feel... I'm, like, reluctant to talk about this just even as a white person, but the select people of color who are on YouTube talking about this are not getting nearly as much recognition as the white trans people, I would say. Yeah, definitely, no doubt. And it's I feel some type of way about it. And I think a lot of white people want to just say, you know, like, one race, the colorblind society, blah, 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 you know. All of a sudden, no. I'm sorry.
It's okay, you can see
Open
race,
your eyes,
just don't be racist.
No, it's actually fascinating. Like, at my school, in the public, in the prison system, since you're just watching the show, in all school systems, there is segregation. It's just not in terms of legality. It's not institutionalized anymore, but it's still there. And I think that's huge, and people don't want to acknowledge it. I even see that within, I don't want to say specifically the trans community, but even within the queer community itself. There's definitely, you know, they're fighting for their own, like, no white people are standing up and willing to learn about how, and ask, like, consciously, you know, what can I do to support you? Mm-hmm. How can I better myself as a white ally? Yeah, going back to Levi's video again, his partner brought up something really good. Think of it as two distinct categories, you know, being a person of color and being trans. And you have to think about it in terms of two different marginalized identities. And then try to understand about how you can be an ally for each before you can be an ally as a whole. Am I speaking? I'm so... I think I'm, like, on fire.
It's been a long day. Sarah's speaking out of fever. Yeah, he's been mad at me, but I guess he forgives me, so I guess that means I have to forgive him too. Yeah, so we're gonna go to bed. No, any final words? Sorry, this was a really bad video. I promise we'll make one better next week. Once this little monkey's feeling a little better. Monkey. It's been a long weekend. We went to Pride. It's probably a little sunburn.
Oh yeah, Boston Pride. It was fun. But yeah, okay.
Open your eyes, white people.
Final words. One thing to take from this video. But yeah, just keep talking about this. Keep this conversation going. Don't let this die out. Just keep your mind open and realize that there's more to it. There was something I was going to say though. Did I make a video on my personal channel?
Okay, well, go check Saren's personal channel to see if he made a video, and if he did, then he did. If he didn't, then he didn't.
They're not having it.
Bye.
But yeah, I'll put my transition vlog in the description. I love you all.
Bye.